Don't stay in a relationship that has drained your personality, has finished you from the original person you were. Before you got into that relationship, obviously, you had a personality. You knew who you were before. A lovable, a nice and kind person. A person that can be playful, somebody that everybody wants to reckon with. But this relationship has changed you. Am I talking to somebody there? Are you the one I'm referring to? If you are in an abusive relationship, wisdom says, quit and find the next. Hello, my heartbugs. You're welcome to today's episode of Tash Relationship Matters, where we discuss relationship goals and rock bottom issues as it affects us in our relationships. This video is for both the married and unmarried, female and male from all walks of life. You are welcome to today's edition of this show. Today's topic is ways to get out on an unhealthy relationship. Are you in an unhealthy relationship right now? The type that is categorized of fighting, misunderstanding, arguments, and even violence? Have you done try and error? You've gone through series of try and error, trying to fix it, and you end up becoming more frustrated and emotionally exhausted? Maybe you have tried, but this video will help you to be able to see ways on how you can exit an unhealthy relationship. The first point to note when you are ready to exit an emotionally exhausting relationship is you must remind yourself that you deserve better. It is very difficult for people that are in an abusive relationship that are in love with their partner to realize that they also deserve a better life. They sometimes deny the fact that they are being abused because they are already in love and they have forgotten who they originally were before they got into the relationship. So remind yourself, constantly remind yourself, if your relationship is not feeding you psychologically, mentally, physically, and emotionally well, it is wise for you to remind yourself that you deserve better. And the next point to note, when you are willing to exit from an emotional relationship, is that you must make up your mind to exist. Make up your mind to exit the relationship. Sometimes victims of abusive relationship tend to forget to be serious about the decisions of living. That's why we have cases of people that have been abused and finally die in their relationship because they tell their friends that they are being abused. They discuss it with people. They have not made up their mind to leave. Their hearts are still connected to these abusers. So they keep buying time, believing that things will work out, believing that their relationship can get better. If you are ready to leave and you have been abused that so much that you have forgotten who you originally was, the best thing to do is to make up your mind and exit. The next point to note is never to expect your partner to change. You are in this relationship and the abuse has been ongoing and suddenly you are expecting them to change. People tend to endure pain in relationship because they expect their partners to change. Remember, you can never fix anyone. You are not the fixer. Until the people that have abused you are willing to change, you can't change them. So never endure pains because you feel they are going to change. And this brings us to some situations where you see partners that are in this very shaky and disturbing relationships. They tell you, I know he will change. I know he's going to get better. I know he just needs some time to change. These people never change, especially when they have told you more than once that they are going to change, and they go back finding the same at the same spot that you have left before. The next point to also note, when you are ready to exit, remember we are talking about ways to exit from an unhealthy relationship. Don't feel guilty. People feel guilty when they want to leave an unhealthy relationship. And you begin to wonder. Some family and friends will say, oh, why are you feeling guilty for somebody that has been abusing you physically, mentally, emotionally, and even psychologically? These people don't have any remorse, and you're feeling guilty to exit from their lives. That becomes trouble, because I expect anyone that is being abused not to tolerate or feel sorry when they're about to leave such a relationship. Don't feel guilty. It is not your fault that the relationship is not working. It is whatever situation you met or whatever your partner has become that has spoiled the relationship. Feeling guilty that you cannot leave them can only cause you pain, because you end up staying or prolonging your stay in an unhealthy relationship, which might eventually destroy your personality or even end your life. We have cases of emotionally abusive relationship that has ended. A lot of people have died. Stories are everywhere where you see a couple that were lovey-dovey, all of a sudden, because the relationship went sour, one partner becomes abusive and the relationship ends up killing. One partner ends up killing the other. So it is better to exit when a relationship becomes toxic, becomes unhealthy, becomes emotionally draining, becomes something that you no longer know who you are. You have lost your personality in that relationship. It is not worthy to be in it. Wisdom, they say, is profitable to direct. Let's go on a break. I'll see you back later. Welcome back. We've been talking about ways to get out of an unhealthy relationship. Now we are going to get to the next point. The next point to note when you're about leaving an unhealthy relationship, be honest with yourself. Are you really ready to leave? Are you really ready from the inside that you're tired of the maltreatment, you're tired of the abuse, you're tired of the way you are being talked upon, you're tired of the way your partner talks and acts around you? You have to be honest with yourself. You are the only one that has the plug. So if you want to unplug it, tell yourself that you're ready to unplug it. Don't deceive yourself. Stop telling people you're going out when you're not ready to go out. Be honest with yourself that you're going out and discuss it with your partner. Your ability to discuss it with your partner shows how serious you are. For instance, for married couples, you can wake your partner up in the night and say, I'm tired of the situation I'm going through. I'm tired of the way things are going in our relationship. How can we get it better? I've tried and I've seen that my efforts are always aborted and never yielding good results. So now I think I'm done. I'm honest with myself. I want to walk away. By doing so, you actually give closure to the relationship because you have opened up to your partner. But if you keep saying, I wish I want to leave, oh, I hope I could leave, you keep hoping and you're not honest, you're not being sincere to your inner mind that is already telling you that you can't take it anymore. That's where most people get frustrated and die in relationship, because they get to a point where a crossroads where they feel they cannot accept the shit that is being poured on them anymore. They cannot accept the things that the partner pours on them anymore. But the ability to be honest is what is missing. Be honest to yourself. I'm tired. I feel I deserve better. I want to walk away. I need somebody that will appreciate me, somebody that will love me, somebody that will tell yourself the basic truth, because until you come to the realization and acceptance that you need to be better, respected, and loved, then you continue to be there. This takes serious honesty for you to get that. And the next point to note is, don't let them convince you. It is very difficult when you are in love, when you are falling in love with your victim. You fall in love with a man or a woman you want to be together for life, and eventually the relationship turns to become an abusive relationship. It is wise for you to be able to walk away. Don't let them convince you. We have seen situations where the man will cry, I'll change. Sincerely, I'm ready to change. Just give me some time, I'll change. I'll start treating you better. They begin to convince you. This is a lie. Especially if it is not the first time they are telling you. Have it at the back of your mind that they're only buying time to repeat it again and again. So be wise. Don't let them convince you to stay when it is time for you to let go. Now the next point to note, after you have taken this decision, you have told yourself that I'm honest and I'm not going to let them convince me to stay. The next point to note is move on and don't let them be in touch. You have to move on and don't let them be in touch. When you have taken a decision to walk away, move on. Go far away from your ex. Don't let them call you. I've seen relationships where people say, we're no longer together, but you're talking, you're chatting. He calls you at night, calls you at odd hours, and you're accepting their calls. That is a wrong way. You are not ready to move on. When you're ready to move on, it will show that you're ready. You can block their lines. Why are you doing so? You're trying to find closure and also heal from their abusive relationship. When you keep giving them access to call you, chat you up, talk to you, tell you how their life has been miserable without you, because you have been in love, it's easy to fall back. It is easy to go back to the same spot where you have left or where you are thinking to leave. So when you are ready to move on, move on. And don't let your ex be in touch. And the next point to note is, if it is an abusive relationship, as we are discussing, remember the topic we are talking about is how to get out of an abusive relationship. If it's really abusive, as the case has been from our discussion, you have to report it to their families. That is another way to get out. When you have been abused physically, especially, mentally, psychologically, you have lost yourself in the relationship, I don't think it is a wise thing to be silent. At this point, you can report to their families, report to the people they respect. Obviously, everybody, no man is an island. The person or the people you are in love with right now, they have somebody they answer to. There's somebody in their life that they truly respect. It can be their pastor, it can be their parents, whichever way it might be, just make sure you report them. But if it is an abusive and physical relationship, the advice that I will give to you right now is to make sure you report to the relevant authorities. The authorities that handles relationship violence, marital violence. So report so that they can call him to order. Then at that point, you can quietly separate from them without any further abuse. Don't stay in a relationship that has drained your personality, has finished you from the original person you were. Before you got into that relationship, obviously, you had a personality. You knew who you were before. A lovable, a nice and kind person. A person that can be playful, somebody that everybody wants to reckon with. But this relationship has changed you. Am I talking to somebody there? Are you the one I'm referring to? If you are in an abusive relationship, wisdom says, quit and find the next